Rob, tell me what you got in this.
All right, Mr. Gagandeep Singh is currently charged in here in Montgomery County with the offense of aggravated robbery for an incident that took place back in April of 2000. Let me just make sure I got my August 15th of 2006, where two female patrons of the main event in Shenandoah left that location and went to a house in Spring on Lazy Lane, where they were accosted by 7 individuals in a very violent manner, and they were robbed. They were pulled out of the car in their friend's driveway, and they alleged that they were sexually assaulted by no fewer than 2 of the 7 that accosted them there at the location. The other co-defendants were later identified due to the hard work of the Sheriff's Department. They were able to lift a fingerprint that came back to one of the co-defendants in one of the cases, and then the Sheriff's Department went forward and they were able to identify all 7 of the other 6 that were involved in this case, which led them to this defendant. This defendant was charged back in 2006 and failed to appear in this court in the 221st on February 15th of 2007. He stayed on the run then for basically almost over 12 years, and later, for one reason or another, he was arrested in Salt Lake City, Utah back in May of this year and brought here to Texas, where he's going to face justice for this case. I don't care whether or not it was 12 years or not. What happened to these defenseless women was horrible, and the other 6 co-defendants' cases have been resolved, and we're going to go forward with this case and do what we need to do to get ready to, go forward.
Can he say anything about why he waited so long to turn himself in?
No, I wasn't given I'm not privy to what the defendant's, what's going through his mind or what motivated him to either turn himself in or get apprehended out there. All I know is that he's safely ensconced in the Montgomery County Jail for now, and I don't know the next court date, but it's going to be in late September.
Now he's got when he originally appeared, or supposedly appeared in court in 2006. Was he just charged at that time? Did he go through any court proceedings at all yet?
The way they did the indictments back then, Scott, is that they would list all of the defendants on the same indictment with all the charges. Well, we don't do it that way anymore. We prefer to have each defendant have a separate indictment. It makes I think it's cleaner going forward for us. So at this point, I'm not even aware, looking at the indictment that I have, whether or not this defendant was actually charged with sexual assault. I know that at least 2 of the other ones were, but he was charged with aggravated robbery. He remains to be charged with aggravated robbery. And we believe the evidence, we have probable cause to believe that he's been indicted by a grand jury, so he's for the offense of aggravated robbery, and that's where we are.
All right.